Today I'm gonna make an epic Philly cheesesteak pizza. There's a few dozen other videos on YouTube that feature a Philly cheesesteak pizza, but upon closer inspection, I realized that most of these other videos were actually complete dumpster fires. And you know what? The internet and you deserve better. Plus, I'm gonna make my own homemade cheese whiz.
Alright, this pizza has 5 main components: thin sliced ribeye, caramelized onion, homemade whiz, Asiago cheese, and diced chives. The first thing I'm going to do is get my ribeye into the freezer for a little bit. This will make slicing it thin way easier. While I wait for that to freeze up a little bit, I'll get started on my caramelized onions. I'm going to be using a sweet onion or Vidalia for this. Shave it pretty thin, but not too thin, just right thin. Then in a large saute pan or cast iron skillet, I'll get 2 tablespoons of butter going. Get that nice and hot, then toss in your onions and turn the temp down to low. I'll let those cook low and slow, stirring occasionally for about 45 minutes or until I get a nice dark caramelization to them. Take those onions out and reserve the onion butter in the pan for the steak. Now I'll go ahead and slice up my ribeye. Going against the grain, I'm trying to cut this as thin as I can. Once it's all sliced up, I'll hit it with a little salt and pepper. And then the same pan as my onions, I'm gonna add a little bit more butter, get that pan screaming hot, toss in my steak and cook just until it gets a little bit of color. It'll finish cooking on the pizza. I don't want it to overcook and be dry. All right, now it's time to make some whiz. I'll start by mixing 1 teaspoon cornstarch, a 1/4 teaspoon kosher salt, 1/4 teaspoon garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon turmeric, and a 1/4 teaspoon granulated sugar. The recipe for this is in the description if you didn't catch that. Now I'll go ahead and shred a cup or 4 ounces of a good cheddar cheese. In a saucepan, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of whole milk or reduced fat milk and 2 ounces of cream cheese. Heat that up until it's combined. Then go ahead and toss in that spice mix. The turmeric instantly colors it that funky whiz color. Now mix in all your cheddar cheese, continue to heat and stir until completely combined and smooth. That's it, homemade cheese whiz. Finally, I'll shred about a cup of Asiago and dice some fresh chives. I think I'm ready to build the pizza now. I'll start by throwing a 12-inch pizza. This is my poolish dough recipe, there's a link for that in the description as well. To that I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of the Asiago, then a 1/2 cup of my onions, next about 8 ounces of the steak, then the rest of the Asiago, followed by the rest of the onions, and that's it. I'm going to put the whiz and the chives on after the pizza is cooked. This is going into the Rockbox pizza oven for about 2 minutes at 800 degrees. Looking real fine. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with some of that whiz now. I was keeping it warm on the stove. And now a hearty dose of those chopped chives. That's it, Philly cheesesteak pizza. Now let's see how it tastes.
Alright, I'm not always overly excited to try some of these pizza experiments, like the MRE pizza that I did pretty recently. If you haven't watched that video, you should go check it out. I'm excited about this pizza. Looks freaking awesome. I love the way the cheese whiz turned out. The color is kind of amazing because of the turmeric. It's got that kind of that fake looking cheese whiz color, but it's actually all real, solid ingredients. Steak got a nice caramelization on it. All in all, we got a pretty good looking pizza. Good cook all around, I think. Let's see, I don't know if you can see that crumb. Good crumb, good crumb. Bottom of the pizza looks good. Good crumb. Let's get right into it. Steak's still tender. Good zing from the cheese whiz. Some good sweetness from the onions. I took a really big bite, so it's hard to talk and chew. The rest of those videos out there saying they got that Philly cheesesteak pizza, suck it. I'm out.